Hello students, in the previous section we tried to understand PN junction diodes, its electrical characteristics, VI characteristics of PN junction diode. Now in this section we will try to understand two more diodes which are specialized type of a PN junction diode called as Zener diode and light emitting diode, LED. Light emitting diode. So of course, to understand Zener diode and light emitting diode, first we should have a basic understanding of PN junction diodes, its electrical characteristics, which I have already explained you. So first what I'll do is I will start with the VI characteristics of a PN junction diode and then compare that PN junction diode with the Zener diode so that it becomes very easy for you to understand how Zener diode is different from a PN junction diode. Okay, so let us try to understand VI characteristic of PN junction diode. VI characteristics of PN junction diode. Okay, so of course this is a symbolic representation of a PN junction diode. In forward characteristics, what we do is to a variable potential, what we do is we connect PN junction in forward bias condition. This is the circuit diagram. PN junction diode is connected in forward bias condition. If you want to measure the current, 1 milliammeter has been kept here, and if you want to find out the voltage, the voltmeter will be connected in parallel to the PN junction diode. Now see the polarity. P region is connected to positive, N region is connected to negative. So what happens when such a polarity is connected? P connected to positive, N connected to negative. Both the charge carrier will move towards the junction. The depletion layer width decreases. At some point it will vanish, and when it vanishes, current will easily flow. So that is forward biasing of PN junction diode, right? Forward biasing of PN junction diode. So if you draw a VI characteristic, so what you get is this is forward voltage, this is forward current, this is reverse voltage, and this is reverse current. So forward voltage will be applied like 0.1, 2, 3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. So if it is silicon, the breakdown, if the diode has been designed using silicon semiconductor, then 0.7 volt will be the knee voltage, and if it is germanium, it will be 0.3 volt. That means if you consider it to be 0.3, so initially up to 0.3 no current will flow through the semiconductor. Suppose semiconductor is of no current will flow through the PN junction diode if it has been made up of germanium. Okay, so now till 0.2, this is what is called as potential barrier. This is the potential required to vanish the depletion layer, and once the depletion layer vanishes, depletion layer acts as a barrier, and if you overcome that barrier, what happens is current increases exponentially. The potential at which this happens is called as knee voltage. All this we have understood in the previous section. I'm explaining you again so that we can differentiate between PN junction diode and Zener diode. Okay, so this is what is the characteristic. This is the forward characteristics of PN junction diode, and the current which will flow at this point will be in milliampere. Okay, a significant value. And in reverse bias condition, what happens is, reverse bias condition when you apply, that is 5 volt, 10 volt, 15 volt, 20 volt, 25 volt, 30 volt, 35 volt, 40 volt, 45 volt, 50 volt say. Okay, so this is the characteristics curve for reverse bias. So now what happens is, initially when reversed bias means, see I'll change the diagram. I will just change the position of PN junction diode. Okay, so what we are doing now, N connected to positive, P connected to negative. So polarity has changed, and when the polarity is changed, that means both the charge carrier will move away from the junction, and when that happens, the depletion layer width increases. Depletion layer width increases, that means potential barrier increases, and if the potential barrier increases, the obstruction increases, of course no charge carrier will flow, only small current flows because of minority charge carrier. So very negligible small current will flow because of minority charge carrier. Okay, but when you keep on increasing the reverse bias voltage, say 15 volt, 20, 25, 30, kinetic energy of these electrons will increase. I gave you an example. Suppose that there are two electrons, these two electrons are velocity accelerated, so these two electrons will go and hit another two electrons which are in the covalent bond, making it free electrons. So now becomes 4 electrons. So gradually the current will increase. Okay, then you are increasing the reverse voltage again. So now we have four free electrons. These 4 free electrons will go and bombard another 4 electrons in the covalent bond, making it 8. So current has slightly increased. Okay, then again, as you keep on increasing the reverse bias voltage, 8 will become 16, 16 will become 32. The free number of free electrons will gradually increase, and at a potential of 50 volt, there will be large amount of free electrons available, and of course if free electrons are available, they will take part in the process of conduction. Therefore current will flow in reverse bias also, but the current which will be flowing here will be in micro ampere. So for an ordinary PN junction diode, what happens is at around 50 volt, what happens is this is called as breakdown voltage. At around 50 volt, there will be breakdown voltage. That means in reverse bias condition also, the amount of free electrons will gradually increase to a very high magnitude at around 50 volt. And when 50 volt reaches, large amount of free electrons are available, they will take part in the process of conduction and current will increase. Okay, and the potential at which this happens is called as breakdown voltage. For ordinary diode, it is minus 50 volt. Of course, we are talking about reverse bias condition, third quadrant, so we will say minus 50 volt. This effect is called as avalanche effect. Okay, avalanche effect. A small magnitude of current will gradually increase to become a very high magnitude, and it becomes very significant in the circuit. Okay, so this was the basic of VI characteristics of PN junction diode. Now let us try to understand what are the modifications which has been done in PN junction diode to become so that we get a Zener diode. Okay, this effect, reverse bias condition, this effect was studied by a scientist called as C. Zener. He was a US based scientist, C. Zener, and what he found out is that the breakdown voltage which occurs at around 50 volt for an ordinary diode can be manipulated. That means the breakdown can occur at an early stage or the breakdown can occur at a later stage. For that, what he suggested is, if you increase doping concentration. What is doping? Doping means adding impurity, right? We studied that P types, N type semiconductor, how you get? By adding impurity. One single atom when you dope, you get one single atom. When you dope of trivalent impurity, you get one hole. When you dope one single atom of pentavalent impurity, you get one free electron. When you dope small amount of such impurity, you get millions of holes or millions of electrons depending upon the impurity. Now what he suggested is, increase the doping concentration. That means add more amount of impurity. So if you add more amount of increase the doping concentration, that means if you increase the impurity, what happens is depletion layer width decreases. depletion layer width decreases. What is depletion layer width? This is a PN junction diode. This is the depletion layer width. This is P type, this is N type, this is anode, this is cathode. Okay, so the depletion layer width increases. When I say depletion layer width increases, that means potential barrier decreases. If the potential barrier decreases, that means less amount of energy will be required. Less amount of energy will be required to reach the breakdown voltage. That means when you increase the doping concentration, depletion layer width decreases, and if the depletion layer width decreases, the breakdown can occur at a very early stage of say 2 volt, and it will be a sharp breakdown voltage. So before that there will be no current through the diode, and as soon as that voltage will reach, there will be sharp increase in the current. Okay, and if you decrease doping concentration, concentration, that means if you decrease the impurity which you are going to add, what happens is, so depletion layer width increases. Okay, depletion layer width increases. What does that mean? That means the depletion layer will be more now. P, this is N, this is the depletion layer width. So the width becomes increases, that means potential barrier increases. If potential barrier increases, more amount of energy will be required to reach the breakdown voltage. That means now what happens is, in the same circuit, if the doping concentration increases, now what happens is the doping or the breakdown will occur at a very later stage, say 200 volt. So what we can do is, we can change the breakdown voltage, or we can arrange the breakdown voltage depending upon the doping concentration. Mostly what we do is, we use Zener diode as a voltage regulator. That means to keep the output voltage constant. So what happens is, at some point, whenever there is a breakdown voltage in a Zener diode, what happens is, at that point only current increases, the voltage across the diode remains constant. Okay, so for that purpose we use. So if you want to have a voltage regulator at say 2 volt or say 5 volt or say 8 volt or say 12 volt, 20 volt, 100 volt, what you can do is just increase the doping concentration. Okay, or increase or decrease the doping concentration of the PN junction diode. Accordingly you will get the breakdown voltage, say at 2 volt or 5 volt or 10 volt or 20 volt, whatever design which has to be done. Okay, so that was the that was the objective of the C Zener for doing this research work. Okay, so now we have a PN junction diode. So if somebody asks you to define Zener diode, so how you will define Zener diode? What is Zener diode? It is nothing but an ordinary diode which is properly doped so as to have a sharp breakdown voltage, Okay, two important characteristics, two important points which has to be remembered for a Zener diode, that in forward biased condition, it works similar to ordinary diode. Okay, that means in forward bias condition, the operation of Zener diode will be exactly same to that of your ordinary diode. But in reverse bias condition, in reverse biased condition, it has sharp breakdown, voltage. Okay, it has sharp breakdown voltage, and once the breakdown reaches, the voltage across Zener diode remains constant, only the current through the Zener diode increases. This has to be remembered, because the resistance offered by the Zener diode will keep on decreasing, therefore the current increases but the voltage across Zener diode will remain constant. Okay, so I'll just give you one more example so that you can understand that. Say this is the reverse characteristics. Okay, reverse characteristic. So now what happens is, this is the 0 mark, this is the third quadrant. Say we have we want a Zener diode of say 9 volt. So what happens is, till 9 volt there will be no current, negligible, very negligible current, but at 9 volt there will be sharp increase in the current. Okay, if such a diode can be designed, that type of diode will be called as Zener diode. Okay, so Zener diode works in 3 region. First, I have told you, forward region. So forward region, it works exactly similar to what is ordinary diode. In reverse bias condition, it has a sharp breakdown voltage. The voltage at which this happens, current increases sharp, it is called as Zener voltage, represented by Vz. This is the Vz, and the current which will be flowing will be represented by Iz. And there is third region in which it works is called as leakage. This is the leakage current. Okay, leakage current means that negligible amount of current which will be flowing because of minority charge carriers. Okay, so what I told you about Zener diode is nothing but an ordinary p-n junction diode which has been properly doped so as to have sharp breakdown voltage. In forward bias condition, it works exactly similar to ordinary diode. In reverse bias condition, it has a sharp breakdown voltage, and as soon as the breakdown voltage achieves or breakdown voltage reaches, voltage across Zener diode remains constant, the current through the Zener diode will keep on increasing. Third, the stage between the 0 point, that means forward bias, and the breakdown voltage, the region is called as leakage region or leakage current, where current flows, negligible amount of current flows because of minority charge carrier. Okay, and this is the symbolic representation of a normal p-n junction diode. See the modification which I'm going to do to make it a symbolic representation of Zener diode. Just you have to make the single line represents N, the arrow mark represents P. So just what you have to do is the single line will be made as Z. Just represent it as Z. So this is the symbolic representation of a Zener diode. So this is all about Zener diode, which is a special type of p-n junction diode. I hope you have understood. Now let us try to understand the last part of the chapter, or the last type of a p-n junction diode which has to be studied in unit number 1, that is light emitting diode. In short, it is also called as LED. Okay, LED. Let us try to understand what exactly we mean. See, what happens is, of course you know that this is nucleus, this is valence band, that means range of energy possessed by the electrons present in the outermost orbit. Okay, this is valence band and this is conduction band. We have understood, or we tried to understood the same concept in the energy band diagram. We classified the material on the basis of energy band diagram, and this is the conduction band. Okay, so now what happens is, the electrons, the free electrons are of course available in conduction band. Okay, and when you say that current flows in the p-n junction diode, what actually happening is, valence band has holes, conduction band has free electrons. So these electrons are a higher energy level. This is the outermost orbit electrons. When you give external energy, they become free electrons, and these free electrons are at a higher energy level. So when you say, when it is a forward bias condition, what happens is this electrons, the current will flow in a p-n junction diode. When current flows, means this electrons will jump into this empty space. Okay, that means they are coming from a higher energy level to lower energy level, right? That means they have to dissipate the energy, they have to lose some energy, and this energy is lost in the form of heat in ordinary p-n junction diode. Understood? That when we say a current flows in a p-n junction diode, that means electrons from conduction band jumps into holes in the valence band. They are coming from higher energy level into lower energy level, and every time they do that, they dissipate some energy in the form of heat. Okay, that means heat is radiated. The same phenomena in light emitting diode is used to release. That means when the electrons in the forward bias condition, when the electrons move from conduction band to valence band, and when they release energy, the energy is released in the form of radiation, that means light. Okay, so that type of diode is called as light emitting diode. So the phenomena remains the same, only when the light emitting diode is forward biased, current will flow through the diode. When current flow through the diode, that means electrons will jump from conduction band to valence band, losing energy in the form of radiation. Okay, and then depending upon the type of semiconductor used, for example gallium, arsenic, and phosphor, what happens is you get green, red, yellow, blue, and sometimes infrared color. So what you have to do is you have to use compounds of gallium, arsenic, phosphor to design a light emitting diode. Okay, and when such type of materials are used, what you get as that whenever the diode will be forward biased, current will flow and it will radiate light, and the color of the light, that is, it can be yellow, green, blue, red, or it can be infrared, depending upon the compound which you are going to use. Okay, so the symbolic representation of light emitting diode is represented like this. Okay, so now we have 3 p-n junction diode, right? This one and this one. Okay, so in all these cases, in all these cases, arrow mark will indicate P region and the single line will indicate N region. This represents Zener diode, this is ordinary diode, and this is light emitting diode. So this is the types of p-n junction diode. There are number of p-n junction diode which can be used for different application, called as varactor diode, Schottky diode, but it is not in our course. Whatever was there, I have explained you. Just go through the book, you can easily understand what exactly it means. Thank you.